All right, I believe that we are live. Guys, happy Sunday, happy Sunday, happy Sunday. At least I think that we're live. Guys, leave a one down in the building if you guys can hear and see me. Would appreciate it. All right, I think we're live. I'm starting to see some of the comments come through. I think we getting some viewers down in here. Come on, come on. Let's have a good discussion on this very fine Sunday afternoon. Guys, I want to talk to you guys today. I want to have this discussion, okay? See, on the channel, a lot of the times I focus on this entertainment stuff, which I think is, I describe it as edutainment, right? There's components of education along with components of entertainment. But there has to be the entertainment component, because without the entertainment, you're not going to stay for the for the educational portions of it. You understand what I'm saying? At the same time, though, I think what I've been thinking through on my channel is, what is that correct mix between education versus entertainment? You understand what I'm saying? And throughout my year-long YouTube journey, and it's been like 3-year-long YouTube journey, but I really haven't gained traction until a couple months ago. I've been trying to see what is that correct mix. What's that correct mix? What is the correct essentially, what is the correct amount of between the two that I should be delivering you guys in a way that I think you can get benefit off of while still increasing the numbers on the channel? And here's what I decided. I decided I'm going to focus the YouTube content specific to more of that entertainment, okay? Sprinkle in some education as well. But then I'm going to be able to utilize the Patreon for much more educational based topics around how do you increase your value? How do you go from the poor man's mindset to the rich man's mindset? What are the things that I have learned throughout my life that I can take and listen, like on a one-on-one mentorship perspective, like for the people that are next to me, right? Like in my general geography, before having a YouTube channel, oh man, I'd be screaming from the mountaintops based off of the things that I have learned. And for better, for worse, some will listen, some will understand, some won't. Some don't have the discipline that I have or have the goals that I have. So, I mean, it is what it is. But I think the benefit is now that having a platform, I can be able to talk about these things in a way that's kind of the same. Like some of the things that I might start talking about, you guys might be like over my head. I'm not gonna get on that wavelength, that mindset. I don't see what the benefit is for me in my life. But then there'll be some of y'all that will. There'll be some of y'all that will understand and say, I get where he's coming from. And this is valuable content. This is valuable information that can help me progress into the future. Shout out to everybody that's coming down into the building. Guys, as you guys come in, hit on that like button. Would appreciate it wholeheartedly. Let me see what's going on up in here. Let me say what's good, everybody. Pulp, how are you, my G? I appreciate you for coming through. I know you're working right now, so I appreciate you. Ivy League, what's up? How are you? Ace, how are you? Evance, how are you? Diego, how are you? Chris, how are you? How are you? Listen, we got the family coming down up in here. Okay, Crystal, how are you? Chris, I already said what's good. Jordan, how are you, bro? How are you? Malcolm, I see you. I see you. I see you. Yeah, man, we got to get it back on it. As y'all are coming in, we about 4 minutes into it. Come. We got 80-something. We're probably going to get to like 100 or so. Because as I was going through the beginning, like the mix between education and entertainment, these types of videos get a lot less views, but to me, it's a lot more valuable. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to talking about, what's that host that I just did the stream on yesterday? Whatever that chick's name is. I forgot her name. But the newscaster, the shit that I did yesterday, whatever that was. This is a lot more valuable, so we got to get back in there. I want to have a conversation. Guys, also understand too that what I described earlier, kind of the difference between the content that's going to be on the YouTube channel versus the content that's going to be kind of behind scenes. As you guys can see right now, there's a lot of you down in here that are not Patreon supporters, but you're seeing this video. The plan is that after I go off live, I'm going to be taking this video down from the public-facing YouTube channel, and then I'll make sure that my Patreon supporters have full access to the things that we're going to be going over here today. But I guarantee you guys are going to enjoy the content. So shout out to each and every one of you. I'll drop a Patreon link down in here as well, just so you guys understand what that is. If it's one of your first times in here and you don't know what the Patreon link is, shout out to Then There Was Sway. Don't forget to like the video and salute. All right, shout out to everybody. I see all the comments down up in here. All right, let's get it popping. Usually I take a lot more extra time into setting shit up, but we got 100 people in here, so let's get it started. Guys, we got 100 people in here. We should have 100 likes. Would absolutely 100% appreciate it. Was that her name? Loren. The Tony doesn't look familiar to me, but Loren? Yeah, I think that's her name. I remember last night when I was talking about it, I had to keep on looking at her name because I mean, she's not like like someone that I normally watch and follow, so I kept forgetting. Oh, Tommy Loren. Whatever. Okay. Anyway, let's get into the content. Okay. Guys, so I titled this video, The Wealthy Do This and You Should Too. Here's how I want to preference it. I want to start off this conversation. And I wrote just a couple of high-level notes because I just want to keep myself relatively on track. What I will start to say before I start to go into everything is that this is not an all-inclusive list, okay? This is just a couple of few things that I jotted down that I have noticed that other people who are on the path of ascertaining wealth and who already have wealth, either they do these things now or they have done these things in the past. The second thing is that there's nothing that separates them as human beings from things that I'm about to talk about right now to you being able to implement these things in your life. This is not like secret sauce type things. This is not like only people with a certain intellect can do these things. This is not 120 IQ and above these things apply to. These things can be applied to whoever you are in your situation. I don't care if you're 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years old. It doesn't matter. But you can apply these things. One of the most disrespectful things and I know most of you guys are Americans, about 70% of y'all are going to be Americans coming through to the stream today. One of the most disrespectful things that our education system does not do is teach money philosophy, money mindset. They don't teach it in aggregate. You start to see some differences in that now, especially in the private school sector. But from a public school sector, how they teach it, into the depths of how they teach it, there is a lot that does not get disseminated. And you can't really get this information unless you read a book, right? But a lot of people don't know what books to read. So it could be too far, too late. And honestly, the reading of a book can be a reactive thing versus a proactive thing. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's not until you get into debt that you find Dave Ramsey. You understand? Like, and then you find it, you're like, oh, why didn't anyone teach me this? I had no idea about these things. You understand what I'm saying? So I wanted to at first call that out, that by no means, folks that are hearing some of the things that I am about to say, don't feel embarrassed that you don't maybe know these very basic things. They're basic to me, but they may not be basic to you. Okay? Don't be embarrassed, but just be ready to receive the things that I'm getting ready to say. Okay? Now, there's four high-level things that I want to go over during the discussion here today, okay? Four high-level things that I think are instrumental within this ideal philosophy of money, of wealth building, to improving yourself and increasing your value. 4 things. We're going to go over them. We're going to go over that first. And then I had a question from a Patreon supporter that said, yo, MTR, this is my budget. I need you to pick apart my budget. What can I do better? He gave me approval to go through his budget with you guys today. I'm not going to go over who he is, but I'm going to bring up his budget and some other information about him, and we're going to go through and we're going to pick it apart. And I think that it's important to do that, to hear it from my perspective, because if you hear from my perspective, it anchors in my truth. You understand what I'm saying? There's other people that could take a look at the same budget and have much different conclusions than me, but I'm going to do it from my perspective, through my knowledge of what are the things that I have done to have no debt and positive net worth. For folks that are new, just another high level point, and then we're going to get started because I see there's way over 100 in here now. And let me also mute my Discord server. I heard it ping. Hold on, give me a quick second. Let me just mute it real quick. I don't want y'all to keep on hearing pings throughout this. Okay. All right, guys, hit on the like button. We should be at least at 100 likes. Would appreciate it. All right, we should be at least at 100. Come on. Hit on that like button. Stop playing with me. All right, very good. All right, very good. There was one more thing I was getting ready to cover. I don't know. I forgot about it. Let's just go through these things right now. Okay. How to delete the poor man's methodology and start to anchor yourself into a wealthy man's ideology. Okay. Here's the number one. These are all going to be, these are not like in rank order, right? Like I think you should be able to do all of these things. Here's the first thing that I wanted to talk about. Budget. This is one of the most important concepts to me when I started out on my journey of building wealth in order to be able to retire early. It sounds simple, but I think that there's a lot of people that don't really understand truly how to do that, okay? When I say budget, what I'm talking about there is tracking your expenses. Track your expenses. Know how much is coming in. Know how much is going out. And set goals for yourself. Oftentimes, I listen to these Dave Ramsey video calls, and it boggles my mind where you can have people that call in that are living in a medium cost of living city, right? And they're making $80,000 per year, and they're in incredible amounts of debt. It boggles my mind, because with that makeup, with that income coming in, and those expenses that should be coming out, you should be in the green. You should absolutely be in the green. But the problem is that they're not establishing the basic concepts of a budget. They don't know. They know what's coming in because they're looking at their yearly salary. And a lot of these people, too, are also getting paid for their time. We'll talk about that as well. There's a difference between getting paid for your time versus getting paid for your output or your results. There's huge differences between the two, but they're getting paid for their time. So they know from a salary perspective how much money that they're bringing in on a yearly basis. But if you were to ask them how much is going out on a weekly basis, how much is going out on a monthly basis, they have hazy understandings of how much is going out. Okay? The beauty with 2020 is that we have tools available to help you with your budget from a tracking perspective. One of the great ones that I've talked about on this channel before is Mint. You can download Mint directly onto your phone, hook it up to your banking account, and it has the capability to track your expenses leaving as well as coming in. I've actually seen that there's some bank apps such as like Chase.com. I bank with Chase, where now they are building in Mint functionality standard into the package. You understand what I'm saying? You get a bank account, you go through the mobile app, and you can see all of your expense. You can see what's coming in, what's going out. But I think above that, above just the action of seeing what's coming in and going out, you have to set goals for yourself, okay? Now, when we go through my man's budget kind of later going on here, you'll see from a goals-based perspective how I do that, okay? Budget, budget, budget. One more point I was going to hit on with that. There's a big difference, okay? There's a big difference between when you're in a period of your life of building money, of building wealth, right? There's a big difference in the mindset of what is required to make that successful versus utilizing wealth, spending wealth. Those are two completely different mindsets. There's a lot of y'all in the building phase that feel like you should be in the spending phase. And that's a problem. That's a problem, but I get it, okay? Listen, you walk outside of your crib, depending upon where you live at, you walk outside your crib, right? You walk outside your crib, you walk down the block, a bus might pass. What's on the side of that public bus? An advertisement. Let's say you go on that bus, right? You turn the corner. What's up in the air? Billboards, perhaps, depending upon where you live, right? You keep going down the road, what you see? These giant supermarket areas that have malls, a Target, a Walmart. I say all that to say is that, listen, this is a capitalistic society. Unbeknownst to you, there are companies that are paying millions upon millions of dollars per year to make sure that your eyeballs see advertisements, okay? Google, okay? It's a multi-billion-dollar company which a lot of their revenue comes from advertisements. This YouTube channel, that's how they pay me, is through the ads that come on this channel, okay? It's a capitalistic society which forces consumerism onto people. They force the newest, the best, the next best thing. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm looking at the new Note 20, that Ultra. I'm looking at that right now, and I'm looking at the budget right now, and I'm like, I don't know if I should be doing it. You understand what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Now, some of us have like different hobbies. Like I do have like a technology hobby as well. As you guys can see, the quality of everything that I like to show to y'all. You understand me? So like it's a part of my hobby as well, to kind of from a technology perspective to be to the next best right? And also from like a YouTube channel perspective, I also have a quality focus on my channel. But I also understand the difference between living a consumerism lifestyle, right, and living a wealth philosophy lifestyle and having that mindset. I know the difference of the two. I'm not in the consumerism lifestyle at all. You understand what I'm saying? From a hobby perspective, here's my thing. Right, like, although I do value shopping, thrift shopping, I'll get used stuff on Facebook from time to time. But there's certain, from like a quality perspective of investing in my business, I usually will go above what I normally do, because there's going to be a return on that value. You understand what I'm saying? The camera that I'm recording this on was an expensive camera. The lens that is an expensive camera. But because I purchased that, I'm getting a return on my investment, which would be a higher growth amount. Anyway, that's a wealth mindset, because you're thinking through, is this a need or is this a want? Is this a need with a purpose, or is just this a want? And there's a big difference between the philosophy and the mindset of the two. It's a magnificently different mindset, okay? And I want you guys to understand that. There's a lot of things that would have put you guys into debt because they are wants and they're not needs. You understand what I'm saying? It's a want, but it's not a need. One of the biggest ones is folks that are going from high school into college and their friends are going to some expensive school, so they feel like they have to go to some expensive school. I've seen that one time and time again. Why can't you go to a community college for 2 years, pay 85% less for your tuition, really start to understand and find and get to know yourself, live at home with your parents, and then 2 years into it, figure out how to transfer your credits into another school. So then when you're getting out for debt, you have 85% less debt to incur, which is less time that you have to be on the hamster wheel of life. You understand what I'm saying? That is the beginnings of a wealth mindset. When you put yourself in strategic position, okay, so that you don't have to be a financial slave. Okay? That's a lot different than this consumerism mindset and lifestyle, which forces you to be a financial slave. You're on a hamster wheel. You ever watch a hamster on a hamster wheel? And it's just nonstop. It's just nonstop. That's what you're doing. I don't want to do that at all. You know why? I eventually want fuck you money. What's fuck you money? Someone has a request from me somewhere, and at the end of the day, I'm going to get paid for it. If it goes against my values, if it goes against my integrity, if it's just something I just don't want to do, I'm not going to do it. If you're up to your eyeballs in debt and you got a family, and then someone asks you to do something that's against your will, your morals, what you stand for, you're more inclined to do it. Why? Because you want to keep up with the Joneses. You want to keep up with a lifestyle. You don't want to do that. There's something huge about the ideology of delayed gratification, which I think is extremely important. There's a quote, I remember I'm a little bit older than probably a lot of you guys down in here. So I was back in college back in 2003, 4? Yeah, right around that time. Facebook came around that time, right? Facebook. And I remember in the early stages of Facebook, you used to have the wall. I don't know if I haven't been on Facebook in forever, but they had a wall and you could write shit on your own wall. And one of the quotes that I wrote was, live 2 years like others won't, and live the rest of your life like others can't. And I live by this ideology. I live by this mindset. So here's how I utilize that mindset right now. If I hunker down and grind between my 9 to 5 and the shit that I do for extracurricular activities in order to earn additional income, if I grind and do these things, I'm going to live like others can't. And they don't have that option. They don't have that choice because they're on the hamster wheel of life. There's a lot of people that are red pill from a dating perspective, but are blue pill from a money perspective. There's a lot out there. You're in the matrix. You're in the consumerist lifestyle. You have to consider how to remove yourself. And one of the best ways, first steps first things that you should do in order to do that is through creation of a budget. Okay, creation of a budget. We're gonna go through a budget over here in a second. After I make it through the next couple of points, I'm gonna go step by step, and I'm gonna actually walk through and create one right in front of you guys. And I want you guys to stay with me during that, so we can go through it piece by piece. You understand me? Okay. I got some notes written down here. Give me a quick second. Okay, here's my next one. That was all my first point, but I was going off on tangents and shit. Here's my next point. Which is super related to the budget. It's super related to the budget, okay? Set goals for yourself, okay? Set goals for yourself, right? It's super related to the budget because as you're creating what you should be spending in a month, you should have a goal in your mind, right? You should have a goal in your mind. You should have some type of, like you're saving it for a reason. You have to determine your why. Why are you doing it? Because I tell you what, if you're not in the mindset of being financially disciplined, okay, and you just say, I just want to save money, but you don't know what to do with what money that you're saving, you're going to fall off that bandwagon, okay? The new Jordans are going to come out, the retro 13 black on, whatever, okay? Whatever. The cookies and creams edition, whatever. All right? You're going to fall off the bandwagon, all right? You may go over your budget that month because you have not set a future goal for yourself. What is your future goal? I think that it's key. I think it's key to understand your why. Just like I say all the time, what is your meaning in life? What is your why? Why are you doing this? What is your passion? You also need to understand what is your financial why. What are you trying to achieve? What are you trying to get towards? Okay? I now have created. I'll tell you guys mine. Okay, here was mine. And I'm gonna leverage my own experience. Here was my first one. When I was 18 years old, one of my whys was, I just don't want to go back home. I love my family. I love my pops to death. Love them to death. I could not live under the same house at 18 years old. I could not live under the same household with him. He'll probably laugh about it, right? If we were to talk about me at 18 and him raising me at 18, we'll laugh about it now. But it was tough. It was tough. It was tough because he is a man raising a man at that point. You understand what I'm saying? And I wanted to be my own person. And my pops is super. He's a teacher. He's a teacher. He's overprotective. I'm his only child. So it was difficult. I'll leave it there. But my goal was, I'm gonna do everything in my goddamn power to not have to go back home. That was my goal at 18. Okay. So what happened? I got into a school. I went to my undergraduate education, and I lived. I had roommates during the time. Okay, during undergrad and shit like that. I had roommates all throughout that. Okay, but then what happened? I graduated, all right, and I didn't go back home. I moved straight into an internship, and then I translated that into a full-time opportunity, not in New York, okay? I was 2.5 hours away, so I could drive to New York, but I was not in New York. If some shit happened, someone got sick, I could go wherever I needed to go. You understand me? So that was my goal at that time. That was my why. Though that drove me. That was my purpose. That a part of my purpose, but that drove me. But here's the thing. If I didn't create that, then I may not have had something to strive to or towards. You understand what I'm saying? As I got older, before I even graduated, here was my next goal. I do not want roommates. You gotta understand me. I love my bros, my brothers from my undergraduate, because I had a group of friends that we kind of met each other in freshman year, and then we were all like best friends up until I graduated. They all ended up not graduating. That's a whole nother conversation that we can get into a whole other time. But the majority of them did not graduate for one reason or another. A lot of the majority of the reason is financial reasons that they ran into, but we'll get into all of that in another conversation. Okay, because I think perhaps those conversations can help you guys as well. Okay, but I knew from my personality type, right? Like I needed my own space. Okay, and I lived. I mean, we were roughing it. I'm talking about I would go into the kitchen and then pop open a cupboard and be looking at the cupboards and ain't shit in there. Right, and then I'm like looking at the top shelf to the corner. I see like a plastic bag. Like I'm like, what is that plastic bag? I move a toaster out the way that's like rusted and shit like that. And there's a loaf of bread back there, a new ass loaf of bread. And I pull the piece of bread out. I'm like, yo, y'all bastards hiding food in here now? It was like that. You couldn't leave nothing in that crib. You could have leave nothing in that crib. You understand what I'm saying? Anyway, I'm getting off on tangents. I knew I didn't want roommates. So I made that goal for myself. I have not had a roommate since I left undergrad. I have not had one roommate. I've been able to do it on my own because it's for my own peace of mind that I wanted for myself. From a financial perspective, I set my life up in a way that I did not have to do that. Okay? I did not have to do that. But I set that goal. Okay? So what does that mean? Well, when it comes from negotiating my salaries in a city that I'm going to live, that I'm going to look at, I know I'm not going to get a roommate. So as I'm plotting out my budget versus what they're going to pay me, right? I'm just doing the math. I'm plugging and playing. And I'm saying, okay, well, based off of the estimated rent, the utilities, the this, the that, here's how much take-home pay I'm going to have for savings, okay? So if I didn't have that goal, I wouldn't have known how to plan for that. So set your goals. Here's another thing. I set another goal as I started my first opportunity. I said, I want to hit 6 figures before 30, okay? I wanted to hit 6 figures before 30. I ended up hitting it years before 30. But the thing is that because I set that goal informed the decisions that I made on my path towards accomplishing that goal. So that meant from a time management perspective, right? That meant from a budgetary perspective, right? What's coming in? What's going out? How many trips should I be taking this year? All this discretionary spending, going out on Fridays and Saturday nights. Should I be going out as much? Should I not? Time management. What am I doing to invest into my brain? What books am I reading? How am I building my business acumen, my business toolkit, my financial mind? What am I doing to work towards this goal, okay, that I made for myself? Because I can't expect to make it there without putting in the work. You understand me? My most recent goal is financial independence, okay? I won't get too far in it. This is not a financial independence stream. But essentially, I want my passive income opportunities to bring in more money than my yearly expenses, which means that I have all my time back and I am no longer a hamster on the wheel of life. And now I can live life by my terms, okay? That means I can wake up at 10, record a YouTube video, go to the gym, and then just decide if I'm just going to play video games all day. It probably won't look like that because I'm a workaholic, but you understand what I'm saying. I want that power back. We have convinced ourselves that there's power in a consumerism lifestyle because you're driving down the street in a BMW that you can't afford. That's not power. You're a slave. You're the exact opposite of powerful. You're indebted to other people. You know what powerful is? Creating your time of exactly what it is that you want to do. That's powerful. That's a wealth mindset. Okay? Where are we? Okay. All right, here's the next thing. And listen, guys, I see you guys all writing down into the comments and shit. Keep on, informing people of different tips, tricks. Feel free. Go ham. You understand me? Keep it. Keep it up. Keep it going. Guys, we got over 250 in here. Where's the likes at? We should be over 200 likes. All right? We should be over 200 likes. Hit on that like button. Shout out to Kenny B. Appreciate the $5 super chat, my G. Hit on the like button. Here's another thing that I ended up doing, and there's a link down in the description box down below. When I think through, sorry, there's a bunch of motorcycles outside. When I think through the goals that I've set, and a lot of the reading that I was doing, right? And I'm reading all the shit about credit, how to manage your finances with a credit card, how to build your credit score. I've had an 800 credit card score since I was 23. You understand what I'm saying? But it's because of all of the extracurricular resources that I've tapped into in order to understand these things about the mindset that I should be having, right? One of the things is how do you invest your money? Okay. Right now have 3 brokerage accounts. All right. I have at 3, probably have more than that now that I think about it. But I have 3, let's say this. I have 3 personally managed brokerage accounts. Okay. Meaning that I've set up the accounts. All right. I have a Vanguard account, right? I have a Webull account and I have a Robinhood account. All right. I have money invested in all 3, right? There's a link down in the description box down below to Webull, which to me is the number. To me, it's better than Robinhood. #1 fee-free stock trading account, brokerage account, so that you can trade the stock market through Webull. I love the resources available within it. If you guys sign up to it, you get 2 free stocks. If you put in like at least $100 into your account, you get 2 free stocks. Shit. My bad. I'm from New York. I don't like gunshots like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you guys heard that. You saw me bitch up on cam. Anyway, you get you get 2 free stocks if you use the link down below. Put at least $100 into the account. So feel free to do that. But here's the thing. I like to continue to put money on it. Extra money that I have, I'll put into one of my brokerage accounts because I am working on increasing, the amount of passive income through dividends investing that I absolutely can. You understand me? So within my Robinhood account, I have like all dividend stocks within that. I'm waiting for all the laugh emojis to come through because y'all saw me. Y'all see me lose my shit real quick. Listen, gunshots give me anxiety. You understand me? Shout out to Sean Bills, my G. First slide I seen all weekend. Oh yeah, I've been putting in work up here. Sean, I've been putting in work with my music grind. Shout out my G. Keep on working. Salud, bro. You're an inspiration. Shout out my G. I appreciate that. I appreciate the support as always, my G. I'm glad that you out there putting in your work. You understand me? I appreciate that, man. Thank you. All right, stop laughing. I see the laughing emojis. You savages. But yeah, guys, there's a Webull link down below. Feel free to tap into that. I think the 2 free stocks that you get can be valued up to $1,200. Okay, it's very rare if you get up there to $1,200, but it can happen. There's a chance. I don't know what the percentage of that chance is. On average, I've seen about $14 each stock, so it gets to almost $30 for those stocks. I'm gonna actually dedicate a whole other stream to Webull. I'm gonna end up putting in at least $10,000 into the account, and I want you guys to watch me buy stocks. I want to do that for you guys as a family, and you can watch me do it because I want you guys to be more comfortable in being able to do that. Again, the mindset of taking extra money, not going beyond your budget, but expensing shit into savings accounts, high yield savings accounts, okay? And brokerage accounts. You understand what I'm saying? So click that link down below and let's get it popping together. Shout out to Jordan Williams. I appreciate talks like this. My parents never wanted to talk to me about finances. Well, that's the thing, is because they may not have had the education about finances, Jordan. So they may not have had the education. So maybe they just don't really know. Okay. Maybe they just don't really know, but it's okay though, right? Like, and here's the thing. I've had friends in my life that have master's degrees, PhDs, and don't know the basics of investing. They have no idea. They're on paper smart people, but from a financial perspective, they don't know the basics. You understand what I'm saying? So it's okay though. Although your parents don't do it for you, what we can do here is to uplift the knowledge that we have going from on the channel to be able to instruct you behind the mindsets and the actionable things that you should be doing to put yourself on a path. That's the goal, okay? Especially for my Patreon supporters. Shout out to you, Jordan, because you do support on the Patreon. All right. What's my third one? Okay. Here's my third one. All right. Here's my third one, and this one will probably be my most underrated one. Okay? This would be my shout out to Rel. Yeah, that's the thing. I got to start the transaction today, so then by next weekend I'll have the money in there, and then I'll probably do that stream next Friday. Rel says, can I bring it up on the screen? Open a Webull account Thursday. It takes 45 business days. Rel, thank you for that information. I forgot to say that. It takes some time. It's not like you can open it today, and then the money will be in there today. It's going to take some time. So I have to put money in there today, and then I'll probably get it by sometime next weekend. I'll put the money in there, and then maybe between next weekend and the weekend after that, I'm going to do the stream where I'm actually showing you guys me purchasing with at least $10,000, because I got some, some coin that is burning a hole within a bank account. Also, let me say this as well. For all you savages that are making money and you just put money in a normal ass savings account, why? You should have only up to your emergency fund in a savings account. Only up to that. I think beyond then, you should be storing money in a high yield savings account. And for beyond that, right, of things that you don't really necessarily need 4 to 5 day access, put them in brokerage accounts. Okay? Put them in brokerage accounts. Typically, the high yield savings account is going to get you like a 3, maybe to 5% interest rate. Okay? And then, it could be betting going in on a brokerage account unless you're getting a yeah, I don't know about Betterment. I've never tried Betterment. So I'm not sure. But anyway, unless you're getting like a mutual fund. Okay, if you're getting a mutual fund that's spread across a bunch of different stocks, then if you're going into like fractional trading or all that stuff, like it can, or like penny stocks. Like penny stocks to me is more betting, it's more gambling. I'm more into putting in money and just not even looking at it. I mean that's my thing. Okay, and the reason why it's ridiculous is because you probably don't understand the concepts of inflation yet. Okay, what is inflation? Real quick, let's go over that real quick, and let me get back into this content right here. Inflation. What inflation means is that the money that you have today, okay, is gonna be worth less later. Let me repeat, the money that you have today, the money in your account, your checking savings account today, that same exact money, let's say you got $1,000 right now. That money, although it shows 1,000, a year from now, it will not be worth 1,000 a year from now. It will not be worth that. Okay? That's very important for you to understand. This is why our parents would say, back in the day, gas used to cost a quarter a gallon. That's why. It's due to inflation. Typically, we have a 3% inflation rate on average per year. Like this year, it's going to be a lot less due to COVID. I think it's somewhere like a 0.4 this year, 0.2, 0.4, somewhere in there. We typically have on average a 2 to 3% inflation rate, meaning that the $1,000 that you have in your account right now is going to be worth 3% less on average next year. All right? So you have to think about inflation when you're just sticking your money somewhere. Okay? Let alone put it, the hood general that told you to put it underneath your bed. Okay? If you're engaging in an illegal activity, then yeah, you don't want Uncle Sam tracking you. Do your thing. Okay? All right? But if you're getting paid by someone else and it's going through a bank, you don't want to then extract that and then put it underneath your bed. It's ridiculous thinking to me because of inflation. Okay? Because of inflation. Shout out to Leo. He says 0.24 inflation rate this year. Yeah, it's about 0.24. So that's the reason. That's the reason that you just don't want to keep it in a savings account that has a 0.001% interest rate. It makes no sense. Keep your emergency fund in there. Keep your emergency fund. And what's an emergency fund? An emergency fund is going to be about 6 to, I say 12 months worth of living expenses. I have 12 months just because I'm a conservative bastard, okay? I have 12 months, at least 12 months, in my emergency fund right now today, okay? But I understand the concepts of inflation. Anything else more than that, you got to do something else with your money because you're losing out. They don't teach you this, okay? in any budgeting classes, typically in high schools, unless some private high schools, some well-to-do private high schools, they're not teaching this. They're not teaching the concepts of economics and inflation rates and how you should be having your money work for you and you not working for your money. These concepts, not knowing these concepts is what keeps us, people that look like me, on the hamster wheel of life, never building wealth and staying low to middle class. Not understanding these things is the very reasons why, okay? Get a high yield savings account, all right? As one of your first things that you do to store your money just to over-encumber inflation. Get yourselves one of that. You could go down to your local credit union, what have you. If you Google high yield savings accounts, a whole bunch of shit's gonna pop up. Okay, a whole bunch of shit's gonna pop up. Do your own research, do your own due diligence. Anyway, let me go on somewhere else right now. I'm only on point 3. I'm sorry, this is actually taking a lot longer than what I thought. All right, this one's gonna go underrated. You may not need this initially, okay? You may not need this initially, but as you go on your journey, I think it could be beneficial to you. But this is something that wealthy people absolutely do, okay? They hire a financial coach, a financial consultant, and or a financial advisor, okay? This is very important. A financial coach, financial consultant, financial advisor. These are actually different things. I would say the financial coach and the financial consultant can be similar, very, very similar things. The financial advisor is a lot different. Financial advisor, actually, there's certifications that people earn to call themselves a financial advisor, okay? And they can sell products to you. They can sell life insurance products to you. They can sell annuities to you, right? They can sell you financial tools based off of your situation. I got in touch with a financial consultant last year, okay, just to make sure that I was on track, okay? That I was on track. What I was trying to tell him is that, listen, I have a goal of being able to, with my current expenses, being able to retire by 40 years old. I'm 35 right now, okay? I have a goal, you know, and really for me, it's just my next goal in life. You know, I'm not gonna retire at 40, and I probably will stay working, maybe even doing what I'm doing right now, even outside of YouTube at 40. But I'm just saying, I just have a goal of having that FU money that I talked to you guys about earlier. So I let him know that was my goal. So what happened? He took my current income at that time. He took my current investments. He took my current expenses. I gave him all that information. He had it put into this tool, this wealth building tool, okay? And we put it all into the tool, and he went over with me my outlook based off of what my goal was. I have a very unique goal. Not a lot of people have that goal. A very unique goal, okay? And he went over these things for me. He went over these things in order to understand how well that I was doing on my path and to give me additional suggestions of things that I can do to help me on my path, okay? Now, I will say this was a friend of a friend. I was not charged a fee. I'm not sure what the fees are for typical financial advice. Typically, a financial advisor is going to do like a consultation. What I would say is that you can always educate yourself. You can. That should always be step one. If you don't have a dollar to your name and you're just hearing this information, there's resources to educate yourself. For all y'all that's in the Patreon gang, you already know I'm currently working on a resources mega thread where I'm sharing with you, here are the resources that I read. Here are the books that I read. Here are the things that I put my eyes on to learn all the shit that I know right now that is currently spewing out of my mouth. Here are the things, here are the YouTube creators that I watch. Here are here's what it is. It's all in a Discord server, okay? It's all in a Discord server. So you could teach yourself. You could teach yourself these things as long as you have the time. You could teach yourself. Okay? You could teach yourself. However, I was at a point where I feel like I know a lot, but I just needed someone else. It's almost like LeBron James still needs a coach. Now, I'm not the LeBron James of making. There's a lot more people that have a lot more money in the bank than me. So I'm not trying to make that comparison. But LeBron James still can benefit from a coach. You understand what I'm saying? They still can benefit from someone with an outside opinion. Jordan could still benefit from a coach. You understand me? They can still benefit. You may not be there, but trust, know, love, believe, and understand that wealthy people have financial advisors, financial coaches, or financial consultants. Okay? They do. And they have to be trusted. Let's also talk about that right now. Because there's a lot of these different, like from an advisor's perspective, they are incentivized to sell you shit. And you should know that. My pops actually walked into a financial advisor's office about 2 years ago because he was thinking about retiring and he just wants some additional insight. The thing is that, so I'm not incentivized to sell you guys shit. I mean, I have affiliate links for Webull. Feel free to show me respect and click on that link. Okay. But at the same time, I'm not trying to sell you shit, right? I'm not trying to sell you financial products. So I will say that, like, you just walking in blind to a financial advisor without knowing the basics of money, you're probably setting yourself up. Okay? You're probably setting yourself up for some bullshit. All right? From a regulatory perspective, there's a lot of checks and balances that are put into play to make sure that these folks that are incentivized to sell you products are not doing so in a nefarious way. All right? But at the end of the day, you have to be in a mindset of continuous learning when it comes to finances, okay? When it comes to wealth, when it comes to money. Because you could take those very high-level concepts and then apply it to what they're talking about. It's like how you can take addition and subtraction and multiplication and apply it to the Pythagorean theorem, which is one of the most wasted mathematical lessons that we were all taught. It's just like, why do I need to know this? I'm not an engineer. I don't need to know this bullshit. Okay, I don't need to know this anyway. But you're taking the foundations that you're teaching yourself, and you're applying it, okay, to information that you might hear into the future. It's like people who get sold snake oils, right? And this happens to smart people. Real quick story, side note story, but I think that it's important to be able to talk about. Just real quick, do you guys know how Steve Jobs died? Let's talk about this real quick. I think that it's important. Also, throw a like on the video, guys. Hold on, I just saw some super chats. Shout out to Alonzo Ball. Just like you would go to a licensed barber. Facts, yeah, because they're licensed, so there's some protections put in place as well from that perspective. Shout out, Alonzo. I appreciate the $5 super chat, my G. Let me just make sure. Shout out to Bullet Dreams Workshop. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Invest in stocks that pay you monthly or quarterly dividends until they can pay for your monthly expenses. Yeah, so that's what I'm currently doing, Bullet Dreams. And what I do is that I do even of the dividends that come back. And for folks that don't know, a dividend is a reward for owning stocks. So not all stocks that you can buy on that Webull app, in that link down below, you savages, go click on that shit. All right. Not all stocks that you can buy have dividends that can be dispersed to you. What I've done is that I'll just Google search top performing dividend stocks, right? And you can get lists of all of this shit. And then I go on my Webull and I do my research on it, okay? And then I'll make my purchases, okay? Now, on a monthly or a quarterly basis, you get these dividends. So you get amounts of money that come back into your account. What I do is I reinvest those immediately. I don't even look at it. I just have it set to automatically reinvest. Okay, just automatic. I don't even want to see the money. Just put it right back into the stock. I don't even care where the stock is at right now. Just put it right back in. Just put it right back in. Don't even look at it. Okay. Don't even look at it. The idea is the more that I do that, the quicker that I do that, the more that I will get to a point where Bullet Dreams is putting right down there until they can pay your monthly expenses. Okay. That's why. Shout out to Bullet Dreams. I appreciate that, my G. You guys are putting in some great super chats that allows me to continue to think through different ideas. Let me just make sure. Shout out to Jordan. Does your channel qualify for an LLC? This is a great question. Yes. Yes, it does. Real quick. You know what? I'll do another stream that was talking about LLC versus sole proprietorship versus partnership. But just real quick, from a protection perspective, an LLC is important. Okay, from a protection perspective, so from because we have a very litigious society in the United States of America. What does that mean? Motherfuckers like to sue up here. So what's the benefits of a limited liability company is that from a asset protection perspective, it separates yourself, the human being, from the company. Okay, so if they have a problem with something that you're doing in the company, they sue the company. Okay, the company can be liable, but then also from a tax advantage perspective, it can be very beneficial to set up a LLC. Some of the negatives are it's more money to initiate it. There's a fixed cost of initiating and maybe a yearly cost if you work with a company to actively maintain it, like from a paperwork perspective. But it's business expenses that you can utilize. But it could be tax advantage, but then you also have to get like a CPA unless you have the skills of being a certified public accountant. I don't. And I just don't want to do that. I'd rather work on my YouTube channel or play Modern Warfare. Warzone, Call of Duty. All right. I'd rather do that shit. All right. I'd rather be working on my purpose. I'd rather be, chilling with a chick that's of value than working on that shit. So I will offshore that to someone else. You understand what I'm saying? So there's pros and cons, but essentially you can sign up for an LLC today. You could get that process started if you're starting your business. However, what I would urge you to do is to understand your reasons for LLC. Like, I wouldn't just say it's right for everybody. You understand what I'm saying? But I would say this: if you're starting to generate income in your business of over $50,000 a year, you're probably at that point of getting a CPA to be able to give you some tax benefits from that, to really take advantage of the tax loopholes that the general population does not even consider. Real quick, do you guys remember like the 2000? When did Mitt Romney run against Barack? Was that 2012? Anyway, one of the reasons that he got drugged is that if you went back into Barack's tax statements, he was getting taxed like the normal American person, and he probably planned that, which is about around like a 30%. Mitt Romney, because of his businesses, in total was getting taxed at like, I think it was like a 12 to 13% or something like that. And people flipped. People flipped. They lost their shit. Me, I have a wealth mindset, so I'm like Googling what the fuck is Mitt Romney doing? You understand what I'm saying? I'm like, bump Barack. Bump Barack. Hold on, what is Mitt doing? How he get down to 13%? Some people get angry. That's that consumerism lifestyle. You know what the wealthy lifestyle and mindset said? How did he do that? There's some research I have to do. Okay? That's what I did. So that's what I did. Okay? That was the downfall of him winning that election, was when that information and news came out. Okay? Yeah, Nigel. Whoa. Okay? Whoa. All right? that was the downfall. You understand me? I was like, bump Barack. What is Mitt Romney doing? What is Mitt Romney doing? I need to read his books. Bump Barack. I'm not on it. You understand what I'm saying? But that's because what I tell you guys earlier, the wealth mindset. That's what I'm on. I ain't gonna get angry. What do you know? What do you know that I don't? Because you know something that I don't. Mitt. Okay. Shit. Shit. I need to work on. Obviously I didn't read enough books. Okay. I gotta learn what you know. Okay. All right. Anyway, that was my third point. Hire a coach, financial consultant, financial advisor. But again, you don't need to. That's key. You don't need to. The resources that I have available on my channel, these are the things that I have all learned with my eyes, the books that I was reading at 24 years old to get me in the right path and right direction, to learn the benefit of a need versus a want, to learn the benefit and to even put it in a perspective of when I earn an income, when I earn money, I'm not looking at the dollar. I'm looking at the time in my life saved. You understand me? Listen to the mindset difference. Listen to the mindset shift. I get so passionate about this shit because it's so fundamental. It's easy changes that you can make within your psychology. Okay? Easy changes that you can make in your psychology to shift how you think, to make you think in a way where you can get off that hamster wheel. I don't think of the income that I earn in the dollar amount. You understand me? You know why? Because time is money. That's a fundamental saying. And a lot of you guys just say that, repeat it, but you don't really put it into action. Time is money. Time is money. If I'm spending frivolously, I'm wasting time. Time is my most valuable asset as a high value man. It is my most valuable asset. My health, actually, too. But, when you're in good health, you're not thinking about it. The priority shifts between health and time with me, depending upon what's going on in my life. It's not money. It's time. I want my time. I want my time. Okay? So what am I doing right now to appropriately utilize my time to increase the ducats that I have coming in? What is the things that I'm doing? Okay? What are the things that I'm doing? And listen to this. It permeates into so many other things. Because now I'm saying to myself, well, based off of my time, get this. My time before might have been maximum 9 hours per day, 8 hours per day of working. Listen to me. This is fundamental. It could be a maximum of 8 to 9 hours per day working. Okay? After that, I am spent. I can't gather enough energy to continue to go, But then I'm reading all these books and these motherfuckers are talking about that they're putting 12, 13, 14 hours per day. I'm like, what is it about their lives that are different? What is it that they know that I don't know? Because I am dragging after 8 hours. Okay? Here's what it could be. They have invested into things within their lifestyle to make themselves more healthy, to optimize their wakeful time. Okay? This is why I drink a gallon of water a day. This is why I work out 4 to 6 times per week. Okay? Because if I do those things, I get more energy. If I do those things, I get more energy. That's why I get yearly physicals. That's why I do mental health checkups. That's because I am investing my time to optimize my wakeful period. You understand me? This is how strategic that your mind has to be in the wealth mindset perspective. Okay? Because if not, you'll always be lagging behind. You will always be a 9-to-5 worker. What are the things that you are doing to optimize your performance? Okay? What are the things that you're doing to That's why I'm so keen. That's why I go crazy on this channel when I talk about the energy that you put to the left and the right of you. Okay? When you have people around you that are energy suckers, guess what? The more energy suckers in your life, the less money you will make. Because them sucking your energy is less time to optimize to invest into yourself. Now we're quantifying it. Now we're quantifying it. You understand what I'm saying? Now we're quantifying the bullshit that you allow in your life. You understand what I'm saying? And listen, I go through peaks and valleys. There's sometimes where 8 hours a day is all I'm gonna do. Bump it. Anything else besides that, right? There's other times where I'm a locomotive. You understand me? And I'm hitting it. I'm hitting it. You understand what I'm saying? I go through peaks and valleys, ups and downs, but I wanted you guys to understand the mindset behind that time is money, mantra that you guys have always heard, but probably never got down to the detail, the layers of it. But that's how important it is to me. That's why I don't allow bullshit and drama in my life. That's why I'm on top of my health. That's why I work out. That's why I take care of myself. I drink a gallon of water a day. Look at my skin. My skin. Look, I'm 35 fucking years old. You understand me? Your boy's still looking good. All right? Shout out to all 310 of y'all that are still down into the building tolerating me talking shit. Guys, we should be at least at 300 likes. We'll wholeheartedly appreciate that. I still want to go through the budget. God, sorry, guys. I get on these tangents and I just go all off. I just go all off tangent. I still want to get into my man's budget. I'm going to quickly answer that question. But guys, take care of yourselves. Focus on your time. Do not let the drama, the chick who is eating up all of your time and taking away from you creating and building value. She's taking away time from you building your legacy. If she's low value in your life. You understand what I'm saying? For what? Viscosity? And listen, here's the thing. Listen, I've spent a lot of time in my 20s as well as my 30s ascertaining the maximum amount of viscosity. But I did it within appropriate time measures. I always prioritize my time first. I am not going to be one of these content creators that tells you go into monk mode. I don't think that makes sense to me. I think it's all about balance, okay? But how you balance shit might be different how I balance shit. You understand what I'm saying? It might be a little bit different in the hours, but it is what it is because I have goals that might be different than yours. All right, here was the last thing that I was going to say. Change your mindset. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by changing your mindset? What do I mean by changing your mindset? Okay. There's no rush. Let me keep it funky. There's no rush. There's no rush. Some of the biggest mistakes that you will make in your financial life is making rushed decisions, making emotional financial decisions. That will be the biggest mistakes that you're going to make in your life. Your financial portions of your life. Rushing. Looking around on Instagram and comparing your life to where everyone else is. I don't want you to do that. You're comparing. You got to make your own goals. I don't care what other people are doing on social media or how they're trying to highlight all of this shit. I don't care about any of that. You got to make your own goals. You got to make them realistic. Don't you rush. Okay? Make them realistic. Put yourself on a time horizon. These fast money schemes, 99.9999999% of them are complete and utter bullshit. 99.99999% of them are complete, utter, and simple bullshit. Or they dip, or they're real, but they're a wee bit illegal. You understand me? They're a wee bit illegal to a lot of bit illegal. You understand what I'm saying? But for let's just stay for the legal perspective. The legal ones, 99.99999% of these are complete and utter bullshit. Don't let someone's marketing get you into your emotions to make a quick decision. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Take time to investigate. Take time to research. Listen, guys, I can't expect for me to put up a link to my Patreon and expect and get discouraged when I'm not getting, everyone in the chat to sign up. Okay? I can't do that. But because I understand you guys are going through, for some of you new cats that are down in here, you're going through a vetting process with me. For those you assholes that are down in here not hitting the like button, you ear hustlers in here not hitting the like button, you guys are going through a you're vetting me, okay? You're vetting me, okay? Vet people, okay? Research people. You don't know yet. You don't know. You don't know. Everything I could be saying on this shit is complete and utter bullshit to you, and it's okay. I get it. Okay, I get it. I get it. But at the same time, vet people. Okay, vet people before you make emotional decisions. Okay. Make sure you build that trust. Make sure that the actions that they say, the knowledge that they give, that the actions match the knowledge. Do due diligence. And then do it again. You understand me? Real quick, one emotional-based decision that I have made. Oh, shit. Shout out to Sam S. Patreon gang coming through tonight. Shout out. You could pursue your purpose and obtain viscosity at the same time. Facts. But always pursue your purpose first. Shout out to Sam S. I appreciate you, my G. Yeah, you can absolutely do it at the same time as well. I think that there's peaks and valleys. There's ebbs and there's flows. You know what I'm saying? If you're in a period of about to graduate from undergrad and you don't got an internship, right? Or you don't have a full-time opportunity and you set a goal like I set for myself not to go back home, and you got 5 chicks in your rotation, you're not doing this correctly. You understand what I'm saying? You probably need monk mode, okay? But if you like me and you're talking about, that you want to retire at, within the 40s, being able to do that or be financially independent by 40s, and, you're well kind of on your way and whatever, like you have a lot more time. But that's the thing. I considered my 20s to be jail. I did. I was still getting viscosity, but at the same time, I was grinding. I was putting in the work. I absolutely was. I was still enjoying life, though. Trust me. I mean, during my 20s, that's also when I saw 13 countries. You understand me? I was putting in the work, okay? But I was enjoying my time. It's about balance. Shout out to Sam S. I appreciate that. Hex, I just gave you this advice. Just a second ago when I was just, I didn't even see that. I didn't even see that you just wrote this right now. But that's my advice. Okay? That's my advice. If you're not where you want to be, if you do not have, okay, your full-time opportunity set up, you don't know the city that you're gonna be moving in, and you got the women that's taking up your call logs. Well, you have to reprioritize your time. You have to reprioritize your time to increase the likelihood of getting your intended goal or outcome. Okay. Shout out to Hex. I appreciate the $2 super chat, my G. Let me just make sure that that was the last thing I was going to go over. Oh yeah, real quick. So I made an emotional based decision back in 2017. Okay, I went incredibly in the crypto market. Okay, and I didn't sell anything. Okay, so I still got it, right? But to watch, I ended up investing. It was over $15,000 over the period of a month, and it happened to be I don't know if you guys remember the end of 2017. That's when all the news regarding cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin hit 20,000. I ended up investing over $15,000 and back in 2017 as the wave was going up, and I just went in because I made an emotional based decision off of fear of missing out, right? And I have seen no gains over that time. Here, I see people reaching out about my Patreon. I believe a link down in there. Shout out to Leo. You'll make a lot more money with simple index funds over than Forex. I 100% agree with that. Forex to me is gambling. It's gambling. If you want to gamble, go to your local casino. Okay? It's going to be more fun than Forex anyway. Go to your local casino. Okay? Don't let these Forex courses and shit, right? Like, there are people that have made money. Trust me. Okay? But you picking the correct stocks, the correct penny stocks or what have you, is just as likely as taking a monkey, blindfolding him, and giving him a dart, putting all those stocks on a dartboard, and the blind monkey is just throwing darts at the dartboard. This is a fact. This is a fact. This is a fact. Okay. Shout out to the community. I'm loving all the positivity that I'm seeing down in here, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. Shout out to Dead Yet Alive. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. It is incumbent that we not be facetious in our pursuit of ascertaining fruitful efficacy. Oh man, I love the SAT words. Irrespective of one desires for the viscous fluids. Dead Yet Alive. Look at the vocab, my G. Hold up. I love vocabulary like that, my G. I love that shit. You get the air horn just off the strength of the vocab. It is incumbent that we not be facetious in our pursuit of ascertaining fruitful efficacy. Okay? That's important. It's super important. Here's the thing. Do you guys know what efficacy is? Efficacy is the power, or you could just, it's the decisions that you are making to attribute to a specific outcome. Okay? Someone with a high level of efficacy, whatever they want to do, they have a high chance of getting it done. Someone with low efficacy, whatever they are trying to do, they have a low chance of getting it done. Okay? But within that, set your goals. Set your goals. Set your goals. Then what are you doing? How much work are you putting in? Okay? To make it happen. Shout out to Zach. You can buy index funds on Webull. Click down in the link in the description box down below. It's index funds. Essentially what an index fund is, guys, is you are taking the, or like a mutual fund. You can buy mutual funds that these financial advisors have already created. You can buy that directly on a Webull app. Straight up. You can buy them directly on an app like Webull. You can buy it. They've already set up these funds. They already have all the measurements put in place. All you have to do is just buy it and watch it grow. Okay? That's all you have to do. If you look at the top returns, if you look at the returns of an index such as like the S&P 500 over the last 50, 60 years, it's averaged 10% year over year increase. Now, what we talked about earlier, inflation is what, 3%. Well, if you just put your money and put it into that index, right? That index fund, you get 7% year on year on top of that. Think about the value, okay? Think about the value. Let's say that you had $1 million. Let's just say you're getting past inflation 7% year on just the index fund. What does that come out to? That's $70,000 for doing nothing. You understand me? This is the wealth mindset, but you got to get to the $1 million. Okay? But it doesn't mean, okay, you can't have less than $1 million and not do the same exact damn thing and still be earning $1,000, right, a year extra. 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. It doesn't mean you can't do that either. You understand what I'm saying? 70,000 extra on from $1 million on an index fund. You understand? Guys, hit on the like button. We should be over 300 likes at this point. All right. So I went over the change your mindset one. Okay. Here's the last thing that I wanted to do here today. I had a question from a Patreon supporter. And I'm going to go over this one real quickly. I was going to go through and actually budget. Well, you know what? I'm trying to decide whether I'm going to do this. This is already an hour and 20 minutes. You know what? I'm gonna save what I was getting ready to go through to another stream. It's already an hour and 20 minutes, and I got to get out of here. To my Patreon supporter who wrote me the original message, I'm going to respond to you in a Discord server, but I still want to take your information and do a stream regarding it. I think that it's very important that we put your budget up here and then be able to begin to show people exactly how I think about someone's actual budget. For other Patreon supporters, if you guys want me to do that with your stuff as well, because I think from a content perspective, it's actually dope to be able to do in front of other people. I won't let your information be known, okay? I won't let your information be known. But I think that it's important to be able to go over these types of things. Yeah, practitioner, I have that one, VTSAX in my Vanguard account. Okay, I do this one. I do this one. Okay. Yep. Shout out to E-Man. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. What's a good percentage to put away into an emergency fund? Percentage. I wouldn't even look at it from a percentage perspective, my G. I think what you should do is have, there's some websites that'll say 3 to 6 months. Some will say 6 to 8. I put 12 months of living expenses into my account just because I'm conservative as hell with my spending. But I would say 6 to 8 months you should be good of your living expenses, which means you have to figure out what your living expenses are, okay? Which means that you have to put together a budget. You see how the logic flow goes? So you have to start here of understanding how much are you actually spending per month, and then multiply that by 12 because it's 12 months in a year. And then you get your yearly expense. And at that point, after the sweat beads get off of your head because you're like, I didn't know I was spending that much money per year, then set monthly allowances for each one of your budgetary items for your bills, your rental, your this, your that. You have to do it. You have to back up into that. So I would say 6 to 8 months if you're a little bit more liberal with your savings mindset. Me, I'm going to do 12 just in case. Should we focus on building an emergency fund before worrying about long-term accounts? Yes. Yes. Yes, because you can land in the hospital tomorrow. Yes. Emergency fund is, to me, one of the first that I would build up. But again, I'm super conservative. You look at Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey says build up $1,000 first, and then come back later in after you work on your debts. I believe he says this, and then build up your emergency fund after that. I might be a little bit out of order, but he says $1,000 first. And then I think he says pay off your debts and then come back later and then pad to 6 to 8 months, I think, of emergency. I forget exactly what his emergency fund is. Me, I'm more conservative, so my mindset is emergency fund first. Because why? I don't want to move back home. Right? Like that. That's just not. It's not in the equation. It's not in the. It's not at all. It's not up for discussion. So I build my emergency fund first. Okay. But thank you for the question, man. That was a great question. Shout out to Dev Code. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Track your expenses and the total, and then take the leftover and auto take out 20% of stocks, savings, etc. Shout out to Dev Code. I appreciate the $5 super chat as well as the knowledge, my G. Guys, listen, I think I might do that next week, or depending upon if my funds get moved into the Webull account, maybe I'll do that next week, or maybe the week after that. But I want to go over that budget, so I'll do that at a later time, and we'll do it from that perspective. Let me just make sure that I got through all of the super chats. Guys, I appreciate the participation. I appreciate that during a financial stream we had over 300 people, which is a lot more than what I thought that we would have on this. But it makes me so incredibly excited. I am humbled that you guys want this information, and you're going on a channel that is typically not financially focused in order to get this knowledge, to get this insight, to get this information. So I appreciate you. I appreciate you 100%. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this up maybe for a couple of hours. So for the folks that are in the stream right now, you can go back, review components of this. So so you can regain the knowledge, so you can start to get it in your mind. But then I'm going to move this over to my my Patreon so that they can consume it as well. Guys, feel free to continue to support me on Patreon. I'll leave a link down in the description box down below. I would wholeheartedly appreciate that. We have additional resources available in the Patreon to my Discord channel. And we have an active community of mostly men, 99% men. We got onesie twosie ladies down in there, but we actually have the channels separated so that there's co-ed channels, male channels, and female channels. But this is where is mostly men in there. So the community of men down in there, we talk about everything from hold on, let me bring it up real quick just to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. I got channels in there that are there's a men's general chat where we talk about everything from women to whatever. We got hot topics. If you're a content creator, there's a channel specific to content that you create that you can post for other people in the Discord. We have the Red Pill stream. We got videos to watch around the internet. We got a fitness stream where we talk about fitness. We got a bag talk stream where we talk about shit like this. We got Second Amendment rights, right, for all you gun owners out there, because I'm a Second Amendment supporter. We got a technology channel. We got memes. We got gaming. We got anime. We got sports. We got photography. We got music. We got Curing the Red Pill Rage. We got gambling too, but it's like video game gambling. You know what I'm saying? And then also within that, you have access to voice channels. You can hop on the stream, on the Discord, and begin to voice communicate and video chat with other people in the community if you do so want to. And the reason for setting up the Discord server along with the Patreon is to give you guys another avenue to talk to each other, including me, because I'll be down in there as well. Anyone down in who's down in my community chat can talk to that I'm down in there as well. But speak to, okay, what is the paths that we have to go through to continue to build ourselves to the best versions of ourselves to increase our value? That's our focus. My YouTube channel is going to be focused on the entertainment, the Discord, the Patreon, focus on building us up, although we entertain each other up there as well. Shout out to the Discord gang. It gets hilarious down up in there. All right, so if you guys want to be a part of the inner circle that's growing, if you want access to the resources, feel free. Link down in the description. Let me see. Oh, shout out to Anthony Spade. Shout out, my G. Fantastic content creator. Shout out, my G. Appreciate seeing you down up in here, man. I'm gonna keep on grinding, man. You keep on doing the same. You understand what I'm saying? This content creation game, it ain't as easy as what people You know what I'm saying? Think, but you know what I'm saying? It's good to see you down in here, man. Fantastic channel over there. Appreciate you, my G. Appreciate you. All right, guys, listen. That's it for today. It's Sunday. I'm gonna go outside. I'm gonna go sit outside. All right, and get some fresh air before the work week starts next week. But again, I appreciate each and every one of you for coming through today and sitting with me for this knowledge session. Okay, for this growth session. All right. Until next time, YouTube. Peace.